straight, you see the pain in me. Put pray before you come my way. Took your pride, so lay your life. The cross is pressed, won't bring you light. Straight, you see the pain in me. Put pray before you come my way. Took your pride, so lay your life. The cross is pressed, won't bring you
I got coffee on my cock! Ow! Oh, it burns! Oh,
it burns so good.
Alright, so got some new parts to install on the k20 Z3, mainly to get rid of the aluminum oil pan for that steel one. And so I'm getting rid of this oil pump balance shaft setup. And I got an HPT. It's already pre-modified. You gotta cut out that section if you don't buy a pre-modified one. But I paid a little extra, save a little time. And I got this balancer, the chain tensioner cover, new chain tensioner, this little guide, keep the chain on, in case you ever need to take it off, for the cams or something. I got a new front seal. Mine wasn't leaking, I'm just cause. And the little gasket too, lowering. New chain, mine was stretched. Got this. I think there's an updated part number. But some oil pan bolts. What else? Then with the HPT kit, you're gonna get pretty much all this stuff. Get the oil pump chain. Bolts for the tray, and your short, medium, and long bolt for the pump itself. You get some Honda Bond, and they give you this little plug-in washer. They do not supply a tap, so I went and got one. It's a 10 1.0. I think they mentioned for like the k20 482s that you're gonna need like an M8 1.25, but so you're gonna have to pull this out. Pulls out pretty easy, just put a screw in it. And then I think some are pre-tapped, mine is not, so I'm gonna have to tap that. Mine also had like a shard of metal behind it. That's great. But yeah, I'm gonna start here. Tap this out real quick. Alright, so I got the hole all tapped. Just put a little grease on there, catch the shavings. And I just vacuumed with a straw. The supplied bolt and washer were not really long enough because it's wider up here, so you don't really get good threads till you get down further, and it's just barely, you can't really torque that. Just gonna pull them out. So I got a 25 mil bolt. which I had to shave the top a little because it's wider to clear the tray. Like that hole right there. So, but now I got some decent thread engagement and it's not gonna fall out and lose oil pressure, whatnot. Kind of hard to find a 1.0 thread pitch M10, so I'd say use like a 1.25 and you'll have much easier to find a better bolt, at least where I'm at. But I'm just gonna put some Honda Bond on it, this washer, torque it down to about 16 foot-pounds, and that'll be done. All right, next, just put on the windage tray. Let's see. Here's the bolts for that. Torque to 8.7 foot-pounds. You kind of see why I had to shave down that bolt I got. Let's see. So it clears. It makes the tray sit flush. But yeah, I'm gonna torque all these down real quick. Alright, so next, I'm gonna put on the pump and the chain. It's gonna be too hard to put on. Alright, so the oil pump is on. Goes on really easy without the guide and tensioner on the chain. Plenty of slack to get it on. You kind of see why you have to trim it out around there. So I just gotta bolt it down. So let's see. There's your 3 bolts. And your long one, medium there, and then your short one back here. I gotta grab my torque, and they're just gonna torque to 16, and 8.7 for that one. All right. Now we're just gonna put on the guide and tensioner. Just reuse all your hardware. Kind of see the difference between those two, the old and the new. And I'll add the superseded part number for this tensioner on the screen. So I'm just gonna bolt them up. And all the bolts get torqued to 8.7. Right, all that is bolted down and torqued. Just pull out this. Voila. Everything's on. Alright. Alright, now it's time to put the timing chain on. First take off that guide if it's not off. Clean off all your old gasket off the block. I usually just scrape it and use like a soft bristle brush, but everybody has their own method. Then put your balancer bolt in there, turn it, take off the light off my head, line up those triangles for top dead center. Then there's a little mark right there on that tooth, and then a black link on the chain. It's hard to... You're just gonna make sure that black link goes on that tooth the mark. It's a little easier with two people, but then you can put like, let's see, a wrench on your cams to turn them, or just turn them on the bolt on the front, and line up. There's a little hole. Let me try to turn this. Take this. Let's see. A little. If I let it rotate back. So you line that up, stick something in it. I'm just using an Allen wrench, but there's a special tool. Do that for both of them. And so this side of the chain is going to be nice and tight. You're gonna line up that bottom link, and then this black line up that link as well with the mark, and then there's going to be one more black link right there to line up on that mark, that dot. But you're most likely going to need these two, and then I kind of squeeze them together like that once I get it on there. Kind of hard to film and do. Try to set up my camera stationary. Show you. Hold on. Alright. So we're at top dead center. The arrows are lined up. The black link lined up with the dot on the gear. Let's see. Like so. I'm gonna push this over. That's through. Have a little tension on it. Then take the lock. Squeeze these. Take those Allens out. Line up the black link with the dot on that cam gear. And exhaust cam. Sure, this is still lined up. Let those go. Should get a little tight. All right. So all the marks are lined up where they should be. I'm gonna hold that. Put this guide back on. See the black links? Oh, you can't see the dot anymore. That's lined up. That and that one. All right, so I got the timing chain tensioner bolted down. Torque those to 8.7. Same with these 3 bolts, 8.7, and the top guide to 16 foot-pounds. If you have to compress this, make sure you push down on this lock when you compress it, so you don't break the teeth on it. And then stick your pin in. If you're taking this off the motor, rotate counterclockwise and then stick the pin through this when it lines up. But now I'm just gonna pull that out. Oh, come on. All right, I rotated a couple turns. See if everything lines up good. Okay, so we're back. After you give it a few spins, come back to top dead center on your crank. Make sure these dots are facing upwards and these lines are facing each other on the gears. Let's see. You kind of see the line in the back there. Should be basically lined up with that. You can also check that your holes line up here. Which they do. So everything's timed up. I forgot to put this on before, so I bolted that on now. I had to grind this one a little here. It's kind of a no-name brand, so had to be expected. And I cleaned up the timing cover. Got this new seal in. Got this front seal in. There's the old ones. I think I already showed part numbers. There. For that, I just drove it in with this. A little lubricant. What else? Your black links aren't going to line up anymore, really, so don't worry about that. Got all my hardware ready to go. The only 2 bolts that are different are the ones that go here and here. You can see how they are different. What else? Oh, don't forget to put your trigger wheel back on. It's marked outside, so you can't really mess it up. But if you don't put it on, then you'll be taking everything back off. Also, your little key for the balancer. It's gonna go in. Balancers, 181 foot-pounds for your torque. Got your VTC solenoid. It's got to go back in. Put this on the cover too. All these bolts should be 8.7 foot-pounds. The engine mount bracket, I think, is 33 for these bolts. And I'll put a little pic of where to apply your Honda Bond or whatever sealant you're using. And I think that's it. I replaced this right before I took the motor out. But make sure if you're replacing this gear that you do it, you torque it in the unlocked position and then lock it. I think this is 83 and this one's 51 foot-pounds. If you have a lot of like chain rattle, that's why I replaced that to begin with. Yeah, I'm gonna Honda bond this, stick it on. Same for the oil pan. And then put the valve cover back on. Alright, so everything is back together. Got the oil pan on. I like it. And just torque this, and then to 181. Don't forget your key in there. Solenoid on. Oil cooler hose back on. You could pull this off when you put the cover on. It'll make it go on a little more smoothly. I think I'm gonna do a valve adjustment, just why it's on the stand. And then I got this K-tuned oil pressure sensor adapter, so I could run that to my gauge. And then I'm just replacing the screen with the vtec solenoid. And I'll put a new clutch on it and I'll stick it back in. Try to fire it up. Alright, one final step. I'm putting on your valve cover. Just make sure you use a little Honda Bond or whatever RTV you're using on all these little seams. So there, right here, and then right here. And then once that's on, it's going to be torqued in a star pattern to 7.2 foot-pounds. All the nuts. Your coil packs, I think, are 8.7 foot-pounds. And that's it. Alright, so I got everything back together. She fires up. Good oil pressure. And she purrs like a kitten. That end.
A's gotta win, games on a play, I'm fatal with pins. Native haters are waiting for him to lose, so I'm taking offense. Praying my days, my fate.